no talks of reinstating movement control order. Clean energy transition requires broad support. Well, hello and good evening in Salam Malaysia Madani. I'm Muhammad Amin Carlos and this is Malaysia Tonight. The Health Minister, Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, said there has been no talk of reinstating the Movement Control Order, or also known as the MCO, in the country. Well, he said the authorities are optimistic that they would be able to manage the COVID-19 cases without having to introduce restrictions as enforced during the early days of the pandemic in 2020. The Health Minister said there has been a lot of concerns raised by the people, especially on social media, regarding the rise in the number of COVID-19 cases. However, he said the ministry hopes to weather the situation without having to reinstate the MCO.
Fasiliti kesihatan KKM termasuk klinik kesihatan dan hospital telah bersedia untuk menghadapi sebarang peningkatan jumlah kedatangan dan kemasukan pesakit ke ward. We are ready for that. Kita bersedia akan kemungkinan keberkalian surge ataupun ledakan seperti itu.
Malaysia recorded 20,696 new cases, about 62% increase in epidemiological week 50 from 10th to 16th December compared with the week before. The majority of these cases are in categories 1 and 2 that do not require hospitalizations. Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli urged the public to conduct preventive measures such as wearing a mask in enclosed areas, practicing personal hygiene and conducting regular testing.
We welcome more points of view.
On a related matter, Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said there has been no instruction from the government to make it mandatory for Malaysians to get booster jabs following the increase in COVID-19 cases. The minister noted that for the time being, the Ministry of Health only encouraged people, especially those in vulnerable and high-risk groups, to take a third booster shot of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Jadi jangan risau, jangan takut. InsyaAllah keadaan terkawal dan saya akan pastikan Menteri Kesihatan, saya sampaikan pandangan kepada beliau nanti untuk diadakan pertemuan dengan rakan-rakan editor supaya dapat dijelaskan beberapa perkara.
Well, the public are reminded to not get easily influenced by defamatory statements played by some irresponsible parties on certain issues. Well, Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil described claims that Chinese nationals who participated in the Malaysia My Second Home or MM2H program were eligible to become permanent residents or PRs in the country as slanderous and baseless. He stressed that anyone seeking Malaysian citizenship must go through a stringent screening process.
Lihat pada fakta, hujah berdasarkan apa yang dibentangkan, bukan main tembak rambang seperti ini. Malah isu ini telah dijawab oleh Menteri Pelancongan dengan agak jelas. Saya lihat penjelasan itu terang lagi bersuluh, ya. Jadi tak perlu ada apa-apa isu di situ.
Recently, a post on X application by a member of parliament went viral after she claimed that Chinese nationals who participated in the MM2H program were eligible to become permanent residents based on hearsay. Well, the year-end rice harvest by the Muda Agricultural Development Authority, Armada, has eased the supply of local white rice in the country. Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Seri Mohamad Sabu noted an increasing demand for local rice due to the surge in the price of imported rice. The ministry has observed a trend of consumers shifting from buying imported rice to local rice due to India stopping its exports of rice. Datuk Seri Mohamad Sabu said efforts are underway to address the shortage of local rice and ensure an adequate supply at all times.
Masih ada, tapi dia reda ya sekarang. Dia sekarang ni reda, tapi dia masih lagi kita diusahakan untuk mencukupkan yang bau ni sekarang dalam proses penghilangan. Jadi dia sedang sekarang bau reda. Beras kita hanya bau 65%. So kita tak cukup 35%. Jadi sentiasa ada lah perkara itu. Masih saya kata tadi beras lokal ini sekarang ini menjadi rebutan sebab harga beras import mahal.
He also emphasized that food security issues, including the supply of chicken eggs and a potential shortage of onions in the future, will persist. He encouraged city residents to get involved in food security efforts by opening community gardens in appropriate open spaces. Well, a senior police officer was charged in the magistrate's court in Ipoh with the murder of a secondary school student last Friday. Well, no plea was recorded from the accused Muhammad Nazri Abdul Razak when the charge was read out before Magistrate S. Punitha, as the case is under the jurisdiction of the High Court. Now, Muhammad Nazri, whose rank was Deputy Superintendent, is accused of causing the death of Muhammad Zaharif Effendi Muhammad Jamri, aged 17, near Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Jati between 12:05 p.m. and 12:40 p.m. Well, he was charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, which is punishable by death sentence or imprisonment of between 30 and 40 years and not less than 12 strokes of the cane upon conviction. Now, no bail was offered, and the court set 7 February next year for the case mentioned, pending several relevant reports, including the chemist's report. Now, on Friday, a 44-year-old senior policeman driving a car was believed to have rammed the schoolboy who was riding a motorcycle and dragged him for some distance at Jalan Taman Jati near Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Jati in Meru, Ipoh. Muhammad Zaharif died at the scene due to severe injuries to his chest and abdomen. And following the incident, the policeman was detained on Saturday and remanded for 3 days to facilitate investigations. The Royal Malaysian Customs Department seized fentanyl drugs weighing 807.9 kilograms, which is worth about 44.4 million ringgit at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA Air Cargo Complex in Sepang on 9th December. And Deputy Director General of Customs for Enforcement and Compliance, Dato' Sazali Muhammad, said in the raid at about 12:30 a.m., the department seized 36 boxes containing 72 aluminium bottles that had liquid substance believed to be fentanyl. Dato' Sazali explained that it was the department's first seizure involving this type of drug, which is 100 times more dangerous than morphine and 20 to 40 times stronger than heroin. Well, he said preliminary investigation found that the drugs arrived at the KLIA cargo complex from Mumbai International Airport on transit to Dubai.
Modus operandi sedikit ini adalah dengan cara membuat pengikaran palsu, iaitu mengikrarkan barang yang mengandungi dadah sebagai sebatian pewangi bagi mengaburi pihak berkuasa, sedangkan di dalamnya terdapat botol aluminium berisi bahan cecair yang disyaki mengandungi dadah berbahaya jenis fentanyl.
Dato' Sazali said the seized fentanyl could be used by some 4 million drug users. The case is being probed under Section 39B, Subsection 1, Subsection A of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Digital media industry groweth to spur bigger local and foreign investments. Stay tuned. Well, addressing challenges and opportunities in clean energy while ensuring a just transition requires broad support, particularly in financing incentives, technology and infrastructure. The Prime Minister, Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim, said Malaysia will therefore welcome continuous support and cooperation from Japan, Australia and others as it seeks to accelerate its energy transition journey.
We would like to use this opportunity to appeal to Prime Minister Kishida to also present our case to the industrialist countries to honor their commitment, because preserving forests will be a major cost to these countries.
On its own, the Premier said Malaysia will continue to pivot on practical solutions that drive progress, balancing climate ambition, sustainability and economic growth. Well, he said Malaysia believes that energy transition should be just, inclusive and equitable, with a way forward that includes a progressive cooperation and collaboration model. Malaysia is also optimistic that the Asia Zero Emission Community will serve as a long-standing platform promoting mutually beneficial cooperation in energy transition, particularly in the region. It is a collaborative platform aimed at advancing carbon neutrality and energy transition to achieve zero emission targets. Well, the growth of the digital media industry in the country will spur increased investments in technology and communications infrastructure, both locally and overseas. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said the government will continue to support win-win cooperation between local and foreign industry players to turn Malaysia into a global digital economic hub. He further noted that the popularity of digital streaming services has been on the rise, with both local and international platforms have a significant presence in the Malaysian market.
As the digital ecosystem continues to evolve, the economic impact of digital media will likely grow, further shaping Malaysia's position in the global digital economy. The popularity of digital streaming services has been on the rise. Both local and international platforms may have a significant presence in the Malaysian market. These services contribute to the digital transformation of the media and...
He said this at the launching of OK Vision, a subscriber-based television service in Kuala Lumpur today. OK Vision, a joint venture between Ansat Broadcast, Sendirian Berhad, and Indonesian conglomerate MNC Group, jointly offers a television content distribution service for subscribers in Malaysia. Well, Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, MATRADE, is set to spearhead an initiative aimed at promoting construction and related companies via an export acceleration mission to Indonesia, scheduled from 18th to 21st December. Now, the Malaysian delegation will comprise representatives from MATRADE, the Works Ministry, Invest Selangor, 24 companies and other government departments. Well, MATRADE said the Malaysian delegation will offer services in areas such as construction, architecture, property, projects, engineering, electronics and infrastructure, with a mission strategically aimed at project creation, development, implementation and sustainability. Now, it noted the 4-day mission will feature a few series of programs with several agencies, including the Indonesian Ministry of Public Works and Housing, Otorita Ibu Kota Nusantara and Himpunan Pengusaha Muda Indonesia. Now, MATRADE will also organize various presentations, pitching sessions and pre-arranged business meetings with potential partners to promote and enhance Malaysian exports of construction and related services to Indonesia. Now, MATRADE remains committed in assisting Malaysian companies in securing potential business prospects through strategic partnerships or joint ventures. Well, foreign investors became net buyers of domestic equities last week after briefly net selling the week prior, with a total of 143.4 million ringgit of net buying compared to the net selling of 276.4 million ringgit previously. Now, it is Fund Flow report. For the week ended 15 December, MIDF research said net foreign inflows into Bursa Malaysia began on Thursday following the U.S. Federal Reserve's or Fed's decision to maintain interest rates. Now, the research firm noted that foreign investors net bought 125.3 million ringgit on Thursday and 190.2 million ringgit on Friday, overturning their net selling of 172 million ringgit from Monday to Wednesday. Now, it added the top 3 sectors with net foreign inflows last week were utilities, healthcare and technology. Meanwhile, the top 3 sectors with net foreign outflows were financial services, industrial products and services, as well as energy. And at the same time, local institutions continued as net buyers for the second consecutive week, with a reduced pace at 82 million ringgit compared to the previous week's 194 million ringgit. Now, they were net buying in sectors such as plantation, healthcare and financial services. Meanwhile, local retailers shifted to being net sellers of domestic equities, amounting to 225.5 million ringgit following 2 weeks of net buying. Well, Critical Holdings Berhad is targeting to deliver 155 million ringgit of the company's order book for the financial year 2024, ending 30th June next year. Now, Chief Executive Officer Tan Si Lim of the Engineering Solutions and Maintenance Services provider said its order book stood at 264 million ringgit as at 25th October. Well, apart from the existing order book, which Critical Holdings will recognize and deliver, Tan said the company also has a tender department that actively tenders to quite a number of projects. Now, the company hopes that the process of tendering for various projects will help towards replenishing the order book. Now, Tan revealed that the company raised a total of 26.02 million ringgit via an offering of 74,348,000 new ordinary shares at 35 cents each. Now, of this amount, 1.60 million ringgit will be used for capital expenditure and 9.92 million ringgit for working capital.
We are going to use it to have these regional office expansions in the centres to support the data center market to come, because we want to stay close to our clients, and we understand data centers, or especially hyperscale data centers, are actually in the boom in these centres and southern regions.
The rest of the money will be used for the recruitment of a sales and technical team. Well, Director General of Malaysia Broadcasting Department, Dato' Suhaimi Sulaiman, today spent some time to meet and present goodies to RTM staff in conjunction with the Christmas celebration. Well, the annual event organised by RTM Public Relations Unit was held to appreciate personnel who will be working during the upcoming Christmas and New Year celebrations. Dato' Suhaimi noted that the personnel has worked tirelessly to bring significant impact to RTM in 2023.
I think we have done quite a great work for 2023, where we actually, your ratings, the viewership has gone up, some by one-fold, some two-folds, and I think that's commendable. And congratulations to everyone who have actually worked very hard. And for 2024, we'll have more exciting content programs.
The Director General also expressed his hope that RTM will continue to stride on the path of success in 2024. On a foreign front, latest Pyongyang missile launches an act of provocation. Stay tuned. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil applauds Xinhua News Agency's aspiration to increase communication exchange with Malaysian media through two-ways platform. Well, it said such initiative will allow more accurate information flow between the two countries, aside from deepening the existing cooperation and understanding of Malaysia and China.
Jadi kita ingin hubungan yang erat dan jaringan berita yang luas, terutama dalam konteks insya-Allah 2025 Malaysia akan jadi tuan rumah bagi ASEAN. Dalam konteks Asia Tenggara, saya lihat mungkin ada keperluan untuk kita tingkatkan hubungan. Sekarang ni sebagai contoh, kita ada hubungan dengan rakan-rakan wartawan dan agensi berita di Indonesia melalui Iswami.
Well, he said this after witnessing the signing ceremony of Memorandum of Agreement between Bernama and Xinhua News Agency. Well, also present at the ceremony was the Chinese Embassy's Minister in Malaysia, Cheng Zhufang. Both agencies were in the news exchange agreement since 14 December 1985, when they first inked the News Exchange and Cooperation Agreement in Kuala Lumpur. The renewal of the agreement aligns perfectly with the upcoming 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and China next year. The minister also encouraged other media agencies in Malaysia to expand their network with foreign news agencies to strengthen inter-media relationship. Well, Sheikh Mishal, a security expert and half-brother of the late Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Sabah, is expected to deliver his oath as the new Kuwait's Emir before Parliament on Wednesday. Now, the late Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad was laid to rest Sunday in a low-key funeral a day after his passing at the age of 86. Now, foreign leaders and envoys, including the Saudi Crown Prince, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the rulers of Bahrain, Qatar, and Jordan, paid their last respect to the former Emir in the ceremony. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin Austin also paid tribute to the late ruler. Attendance was largely limited to ruling family members, making for an intimate farewell for the emir who reigned for 3 years. Well, across Kuwait City, large digital billboards displayed pictures of the late ruler, hailed as the, quote, emir of wisdom, forgiveness and peace. The flags were lowered to half-mast amid a 40-day mourning period that will also see government offices shut until Tuesday. Now, born in 1937, Sheikh Nawaf took over as emir in September 2020 upon the death of his half-brother, Sheikh Sabah, at the age of 91. Now, he issued numerous amnesties for political prisoners, earning him the nickname Emir of Pardons. Now, one of his last moves before his death was the signing of a draft decree approved by Cabinet late last month, ordering the release of dozens of political prisoners. Well, North Korea fired an ICBM-class missile on Monday with a range capable of reaching anywhere in the United States, marking its second missile launch in hours as Pyongyang condemned a U.S.-led show of force as war moves. Now, according to Japan's Parliamentary Vice Minister of Defense, Shingo Miyake, the ICBM has a potential to travel more than 15,000 kilometers, meaning it can reach anywhere in Japan and the mainland United States. Now, Miyake added that the flight lasted 73 minutes, just short of the 74-minute flight by an ICBM North Korea fired in July. It reached a maximum altitude of more than 6,000 kilometers and fell into the sea west of Hokkaido outside Japan's exclusive economic zone. Meanwhile, South Korea's military strongly condemned the latest missile launch and called it a, quote, reckless provocation, adding that Pyongyang would be held responsible for any consequences. And South Korea's National Security Council labeled the launch a destabilizing act that ignored international warnings and multiple UN Security Council resolutions. Now, Monday's missile launch came after North Korea fired a short-range ballistic missile on Sunday night, flying about 570 kilometers and falling into the ocean, after which Pyongyang condemned the United States for orchestrating what it called a preview of a nuclear war. Ethnic minority fighters battling Myanmar's junta said they seized a trading hub in Shan State days after China said it had mediated a temporary ceasefire. Well, clashes have raged across Myanmar's northern Shan State since the Arakan Army, or AA, the Myanmar National Democratic Alliance Army, or MDNAA, and the Taang National Liberation Army, TNLA, launched a joint offensive late October. Now, the three allied groups, known as the Three Brotherhood Alliance, said they have captured military positions and border hubs vital for trade with China, posing what analysts say is the biggest military challenge to the junta since it seized power in 2021. Now, on Thursday, Beijing announced a temporary ceasefire between the alliance and the Myanmar military, and there have been peaceful spells in MNDAA-held areas, but clashes have continued in areas controlled by the TNLA and the Arakan Army. Now, the TNLA said they captured Namshan town on Friday after launching an attack in an area more than 2 weeks ago. Brigadier General Zhao Mintun, a spokesperson for Myanmar's army, told state-run TV channel MRTV on Friday that fighting was continuing around Namshan. Now, according to TNLA's Tarbon Kiao, the Myanmar's army also lost the 105-mile trade zone, a major trading conduit on the border with China in Moose Township, Shan State. In total, the three-group alliance says they have seized 422 bases and 7 towns from Myanmar's army since 27 October. The alliance's offensive has galvanized other opponents of the junta, and clashes have spread to the east and the west of Myanmar. Still to come in sports, Selangor clinches runner-up title in final Super League fixtures. Well, kicking off our sports segment this evening, Sabah FC clinched a commendable third spot in the 2023 Super League competition after sweeping past Kedah Darul Aman FC 2-0 at the Lika Stadium in Kota Kinabalu last night. Sabah, under the leadership of former national coach Dato' Ong Kim Swee, scored their goals through Muhammad Irfan Fazail and import Ramon Machado.
Pesta yang dibuka Hari ini para pemain membuktikan yang mereka mempunyai mentaliti, sikap yang cukup positif, semangat yang cukup tinggi, dan saya harap para pemain ini dapat mengekalkan prestasi mereka, terutama apabila kita bermain dalam peringkat separuh akhir Piala AFC nanti, di mana ini kita akan bermula selepas cuti beberapa minggu.
The 3 points earned last night saw Sabah FC finish with 54 points behind champions Johor Darul Takzim or JDT and Selangor, who claimed the top 2 spots respectively, while KDA FC finished 4th with 53 points. In Petaling Jaya, 2023 Super League season runner-up Selangor FC ended their final fixture on a winning note after scoring a convincing 3-1 victory over PDRM FC at the Majlis Bandaraya Petaling Jaya Stadium. The squad, under the tutelage of another former national coach, Tan Cheng Ho, took a 2-0 lead with national striker Muhammad Faisal Abdul Halim finding the net in the 37th minute from a penalty spot and Brendan Garn extending the lead in the 44th minute. PDRM FC managed to reduce the deficit in the 71st minute through Fadi Awad, but substitute Richmond Boake restored the 2-goal advantage in the 88th minute to secure all 3 points. It was an impressive season for Cheng Ho, who took over the head coach role of Selangor FC September last year. In another match, Malaysia Cup runner-up Terengganu FC also capped a win on their final day of the league season by beating Perak FC 3-0 at the Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium in Kuala Nerus. Terengganu FC's top goal poacher Ivan Mahmud started the ball rolling in the 7th minute before Engku Muhammad Nur Shakir Engku Yaakob made it 2-0 in the 17th minute, while substitute Muhammad Nur Hakim Hassan completed the rout in the 81st minute. In the Premier League, Liverpool's failure to score for the first time since April cost them top spot in the Premier League as Manchester United secured a goalless draw to deny their arch rivals a club record. Erik ten Hag's side succeeded where 34 previous opponents had failed in keeping out the team, which finished the game with 5 attacking players on the pitch and Trent Alexander-Arnold playing as the central fulcrum. The visitors offered little in a way of threat themselves as their goal drought on enemy territory extended to 507 minutes, stretching back 5 years, but they at least stemmed the bleeding, which had seen them concede 21 times in the last 5 meetings home and away. Well, in that respect, the under scrutiny United boss can take a crumb of comfort, and their supporters will have been equally delighted to both deny Liverpool recovering top spot after Arsenal had moved ahead early in the day and also ending their 100% record. Less impressive was Diogo Dalot's controversial double yellow card, sending off in added time. It is now just 1 win in 6 for the visitors, and defensive performances such as this will not get them any closer to the top 4. And with that, we reach the end of tonight's bulletin. In our top story, no talks in government on reinstating movement control order. Do join us again tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on TV2 and saluran Berita RTM for your daily world updates. I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos. And from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching. Good night.